I predicted the election a year ago on this channel at Polymath Level 8. The video is why the Dems are losing and a path to victory. To recap, Wall Street and college liberals have been fighting a vicious class war since the 1980s. The policies include wokeism, open borders, deficit spending, and many others. To clarify, wokeism is cultural sabotage, open borders means cheap labor for big business, and deficits are explained in a minute. The whole set are covered in the Big Book of Propaganda on Amazon, and it's important for the public to understand them all. The way to win is simply to call off the class war. But as always, the masses were too busy with online scam artists to learn anything useful. I predicted the Biden cover-up 2 years ago in the book. To recap, the Democratic Party is under orders to self-sabotage from their financial backers, and the program has had several versions. They gave away the Supreme Court, they legitimized supply-side policy with wokeism, and they've alienated voters with 40 years of class war policy. Covering for a senile president was Release 4.0. Leading pundits can't explain this even after the fact and in full conference mode. Harris, Thompson, Galloway, and Schellenberger are all over the map. They call it hubris, or ego, or delusion, loyalty, dishonesty, narcissism, or the First Lady. It shouldn't need to be said that these are random and contradictory. They're also typical of college-trained blowhards. Tapper wrote a whole book about it without mentioning the financial interests that control the party. This is especially gross. A senior reporter for a national news channel is blind to obvious facts in plain sight. Only a brain-dead population would make his book into a bestseller. I explained the Doge and tariff programs 2 months ago in a video called The Basics of Trade Policy and Government Efficiency. To recap, Doge was the brainchild of a moron. It's like using a chainsaw to cut a piece of paper. It had no intention of balancing the budget for reasons we'll get to in a minute. There is a way to reduce spending. It's called cost-benefit analysis, and it's been used in business and government for many years. But the phrase cost-benefit analysis wasn't mentioned by TV pundits, reps in Congress, or dingbats on the net. That is great discipline. It shows the coordination among the pundit class to keep the public just as ignorant as can be. MAGA trade policy, meanwhile, is political chaos used to conceal the supply-side agenda. In the real world, tariffs are used carefully to build key industries, those that strengthen the rest of the economy. Another tool is government subsidy. Examples in the past included steel and manufacturing. The choices today are high-tech, pharmaceuticals, clean energy and transit, and others. The program is nuanced, tried and tested, and historical. It also isn't mentioned by mainstream spin doctors. I predicted the big beautiful bill 2 years ago in the book and 3 months ago in another video. That one's called The Interest Groups and Objectives Behind the Trump Agenda. The interest groups are Wall Street and global cartels. The main objective is an extreme form of supply-side economics. The central policy of it is deficit tax cuts for the rich. That kills 3 birds with 1 stone. It transfers wealth directly through tax cuts and indirectly through interest payments on the debt. By wrecking the fiscal structure, it also prevents government from addressing real problems. The public have signed off on this train wreck for some 50 years. Though everything was explained and predicted well in advance, the masses have been hypnotized by the dulcet tones of media grifters. All of this and more is covered on my channel at Polymath Level 8 and in more detail in the Big Book of Propaganda on Amazon. That explains how the economy and political system work in contrast to the fictional versions cooked up in the university. It also describes the rhetorical tricks in constant use across the public square. Most importantly, it covers lifestyle choices and civic actions that would bring the government under rational control. Society is collapsing before our very eyes. Major causes are the toxic stupidity of the pundit class and tribal hatred and mob mentality of the public. Prime content could help. So please, subscribe to the channel and read the book. You can't fix a problem without understanding it. The dumb guesses of mainstream pundits are a waste of time, and it's never been more important to support quality intel.